We're going to take the Gray Ghost out today, give her a quick rip, and see if our problem's fixed with our transmission. If you don't know, this car has a TKX in it, and it had a noise in fourth gear, kind of like a roaring, grinding kind of sound. So I pulled the transmission out, and I sent it to Bob Hanlon at Hanlon Motorsports. He pulled it apart, looked at it, said, hey, it looks pretty good to me. I don't see anything wrong with it. He made a couple of tweaks, a few upgrades, sent it back to me. So we're all thinking if this doesn't fix the problem, it's more than likely going to be a clutch issue. With that being said, let's go drive the car and see what happens. My clutch pedal is what you guys hear squeaking down here, by the way. I gotta oil it up. this is the first time I've ever seen the car smoke like this, so pretty sure this is going to be a crankcase ventilation issue. This car has no PCV valve, and it's only ventilated through the two valve covers, so just with breathers. More than likely, that's all it is. I'm not going to stress over it. Well, we're back from our drive, and obviously the car's still making noise. Pretty sure it's going to be a clutch issue. So what we're going to do, I have a single disc clutch that we're going to put in the car. We're going to put it in there and see if that fixes the problem. What are our options if that doesn't fix it? Well, more than likely it's going to be a rear end issue, possibly a pinion bearing or something like that. I did not replace the pinion bearing when I put this 8.8 in the car. I replaced axle bearings, but not the pinion. I highly doubt that that's the issue. I think it's going to be a clutch. So we're going to put this new clutch in it here soon and get her back out and drive it. All right, I want to talk to you guys about what it's like to drive a 65 Mustang in 2024. Well, to be honest with you, it's badass. It's just as cool as it ever was when I drove this thing back in 93, 94, 95, 96. It's a different feeling. It's not the most luxurious thing, obviously. It's not like your new car with your leather and your heat and your AC. But it is a very comfortable car to drive around in. Now, you might think of a little 65 Mustang as being cramped on the inside, things like that. It's really not. And I think it has a lot to do, well, for one thing, with the dash layout. The dash on these cars don't really come out and hit you in the face. You know, you got a lot of room up there. But I think the biggest thing is going to be the lack of bolstering in the seats, which is a good thing and a bad thing. For the bigger fellas, the bolstering sometimes it hurts. You know, it squeezes you. You feel confined and you can't move around. For me, I'm on the smaller side, kinda, I guess. Depends on which angle. But I mean, I just got tons of room in this car. I can move around. Like I said, the dash is kind of low. It's not in my face. So I love driving this car. The power that it makes is awesome. It's not the fastest thing in the world by any means, but it is a very fun, quick car. And the other part of that is they will get away from you very quickly because there is no traction control. There's no ABS. There's no anything. This is a leaf spring car. So you have to know that, because when you get on it, you stab it, the front end comes up, the back end squats. That's what they do. And it gets a little hairy sometimes. But here's what I want you to know. They're still fun cars to drive, and they are still very drivable today. Just like any other car, you got to make sure that your suspension is good and your brakes are working and the car is reliable. Okay? If the underside of this car is good, everything else is good, you should be able to drive this thing with zero issues. You know, just because it's old doesn't mean that it's going to overheat or doesn't mean that your brakes are going to fail. It's just like anything else. You've got to go through the motions to make sure everything is good. Well, look, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to keep you updated on the car, let you know how everything turns out. Obviously, we'll video it, and cross your fingers for me because I'm almost at my wit's end with this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.